Homesteader of the Rockies, and welcome to the Susie Homesteader channel. And today we're going to replace a toilet that is the original toilet when I bought this house. That's about 25 years old. The problem I'm having with this toilet is that it's constantly running. So I have changed the parts inside the tank over the years, but it's just getting to the point now where all the parts in there are pretty much toast. So it just seemed like a better idea to just replace the whole toilet. So we're going to start with a brand new toilet that I picked up at Home Depot. Some toilets, you know, they range from like $100 to $300. I mean, and then they go up from there. This is kind of a middle of the road toilet that we're going to put in. You know, not too cheap, not too expensive, but a good quality. So you can buy some used toilets like at Habitat Restorer and stuff like that, but it's not the toilet you're worried about, it's the parts inside the toilet, in the tank. So yeah, we're going to put in this new toilet. I use something called a better than wax ring that you have to use on the toilet too. When you buy a new toilet, it usually comes with a regular wax ring anyway. You'll get like a really messy, nasty smelling wax ring that usually comes with it. But this is something new. We're going to try it. It's just a lot cleaner, supposedly a lot better seal. So besides the new toilet and all the things that come with it, you might want to purchase this better than wax toilet seal, which Fluid Master makes, I guess. So anyway, and that was Home Depot also. So, and then you should have all the parts that you need with the toilet, with the exception of maybe a water hose, a water connecting hose. So if you don't have that water hose, the connector that actually connects your water to your toilet, then you might want to buy something like that. Now this one is super old and super cheap, but it's fine. It's not leaking. We're going to reuse it, but they do make better ones than that. So you might want to buy one of those too. So I'm just going to take you step by step on how to put in a new toilet. It's super easy. There are actually a lot of little odds and ends that you're going to want to get, like rubber gloves, depending on how used your toilet is, and all kinds of stuff, but we'll go through that step by step. Okay, so the first thing you're going to do is you're going to shut off your water valve down at the bottom here where we were pointing to earlier. Shut off your main water line. There might be two places you have to shut that off. It just depends on how your bathroom is. But ours is just one. Just turn off the valve, and then you're basically draining the toilet. You got to get all the water out. So, you know, you can watch a bunch of YouTube videos and stuff, and they'll all tell you different ways to get the water out of the toilet, but our idea was the shop vac, if it's a wet dry shop vac, which was a great idea, because even if you use a plunger to kind of push through a bunch of the water that's still in there, it's still not going to push it all the way through. So the plunger worked for a little while, but it doesn't get the rest of the water out of the tank after you flush the toilet as many times as you can, and it doesn't get what's left in the bowl. So just go get a wet dry shop vac. Otherwise, you can just use a big sponge and a bucket and keep sponging it out, but that's kind of gross. So if you got a shop vac, that's the ticket. So now we're getting all the water out of the toilet as much as we can, and then we're also going to loosen the bolts that are on the very bottom of the toilet. And sometimes you might need a socket wrench for that. You might just need a pair of pliers. And you might need something like a PV blaster or some kind of if it's a super old corroded bolt on there. This stuff works great. So anyway, or WD-40, but whatever you got to do, you got to take off the two bolts that secure the toilet to the flange underneath it as well. And now we can actually start working on disassembling the toilet. Okay, so we shut off that water valve, drained all the water out of the toilet, the old toilet like we talked about, and lifted the toilet up off of the original wax ring and the flange, which definitely takes somebody with some extra muscle because those toilets are still kind of heavy. But you're lifting that toilet up and out, and then don't forget, when you have that toilet in your hands there, you still get a bunch of wax stuck to the bottom of it. So either have a towel to set it on or take it straight outside, because the bottom of that toilet is still going to be full of wax if you're using one of these old wax rings. So anyway, as you can see, toilet's gone. This black piece here is the original flange that we're going to set the new toilet on, so you don't want to mess with that. But we're going to take a putty knife and scrape off any caulking, which I already did, that was surrounding the base of the old toilet. And we're going to scrape off this wax and throw it in a trash bag. So basically we're going to clean this off. We're going to take out the old bolts, or we might have to leave them if you for some reason don't have new bolts. But we're going to take all this off and get ready to put in the next wax. Well, it's not a wax ring, it's a rubber sealed ring that we're going to put on here, and then set the toilet on top of that. So here we are, no toilet. Okay, so we got the old wax ring off and this new rubber seal thingy's in. So it was just cleaning up a lot on the old wax ring, and then putting this rubber one in with the new bolts, and now we're just going to set the toilet on that. So I guess this is an easier way to go. Okay, so the toilet is set on the flange and the rubber ring that we got with the bolts, and then as you can see, the bolts are bolts are nutted down with a washer, and then we can't hook up the water line yet because we have to get the tank on. So the base is on, and hopefully it's not going to leak, so we're not going to tighten it too much yet until we know it doesn't leak. So the next half of this is putting on the tank. Okay, so we're pretty much done. All we got left now is to put on the toilet seat. There's a lid, tank lid obviously, that we got to put on too, but you know, the whole goal here was to test it first to make sure nothing leaked. So we put the water supply line back to the toilet, but here's another tip for you. You know, this toilet is like 1.5 inches taller than my old toilet, so that water line almost didn't make it up to the back of that toilet. So just keep that in mind. If you get a taller toilet, you might need a longer water line. So I might actually go back and switch out that. It made it, but I think we had to pull it up through the floor a little bit. So I might actually go back and put in a longer water line, because it is like within 1 centimeter of fitting. So that's something they don't tell you. And then we just turned on the water line valve, and tested it, and nothing's leaking. And flushed it a couple times, and the tank filled up, and the bowl filled up, and we're good. So no leaks. So we can put the toilet seat on, and we can put the little cap covers that they give you. So there it is, how to replace an old toilet and put in a new one. If you have any questions, come and see me on my website, Susie Homesteader of the Rockies, and we'll see you there. Bye-bye. So, let's get started. Subscribe to the Susie Homesteader channel, and we'll see you there. Bye-bye.